Okay, I'm going to continue reading on Black Wall Street. Okay, this is part 2 of that. It was not unusual that if a resident's home accidentally burned down, it could be rebuilt within a few weeks by neighbors. This was the type of scenario that was going on day to day on Black Wall Street. When blacks intermarried into Indian culture, some of them received their promised 40 acres and a mule. And with that came whatever oil was later found on the properties. Forgive me for my bad, lame reading. Just to show you how wealthy a lot of black people were, there was a banker in a neighboring town who had a wife named California Taylor. Her father owned the largest cotton gin west of the Mississippi River. When California shopped, she would take a cruise to Paris every 3 months to have her clothes made. There was also a man named Mason in nearby Wagner County who had the largest potato farm west of the Mississippi. When he harvested, he would fill 100 boxcars a day. Another brother not far away had the same thing with the spinach farm. The typical family then was 5 children or more, though the typical farm family would have 10 kids or more who made up the nucleus of the labor. On Black Wall Street, a lot of global business was conducted. The community flourished from the early 1900s until June 1st, 1921. That's when the largest massacre of non-military Americans in the history of this country took place, and it was led by the Ku Klux Klan. Imagine walking out of your front door and seeing 1,500 homes being burned. It must have been amazing. Survivors we interviewed think that the whole thing was planned because during the time that all of this was going on, white families with their children stood around on the borders of the community and watched the massacre, the looting and everything, much in the same manner they would watch a lynching. Now that's rather interesting, isn't it? You know. And this is, and see, I'm not even going into details on the total atrocity, the total massacre that took place, because I kind of don't want to go into detail on that. I want to focus more on the community before the animals destroyed it. But my main point is having us. I want us to focus on that community and what it was, and and what I'm talking about when I talk about a strong, wealthy community, and what it took for them to build that is learning to work with each other. They learn to build and have some structure within their community, and to do that, we need partnership with each other. That's something that we don't quite get. We can have that today, but if we're so busy running away and seeking what is outside our own home, will we ever have that? And see, the white man, the yellow man, the brown man, they understand that. They understand that. That's why, for the most part, they may seek things out of curiosity, but they are more than likely to stay within their own, and you'll see how this all connects with interracial relations. And what I'm not talking about in the case of someone just happening to fall in love with someone, or happening to, it's not about me saying that we should totally neglect or totally separate ourselves. But I do think that there is a time that we need to come together and work within our own. And this is kind of the time, especially considering how things are going on. Are we necessarily doing better? Are we, Generation X, Generation Y, the so-called beneficiaries of the civil rights movement, can we honestly say that we are necessarily doing better? Think about that. Think about that when you ride through black communities today. Think about that. And it seems as if, when we do make it, we are so quick to go outside of our community and take our businesses and our services to the next person who don't even really need it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I understand a person wanting to escape poverty and crime, etc. But you have to understand, what is it that, you know, well, the one good thing, though, is that I've noticed this has been happening, occurring more and more, where it used to be, you know, blacks, to get away, they would go to live amongst whites, and it didn't always mean that that's what they wanted, to live near white people, but they felt they had no choice. Whereas now you have more blacks who are, you know, when they, you know, in leaving crime and poverty and, you know, well, they're going to live around black people who are more like-minded, you know. And I'm kind of with that idealism, but it's not going to hurt in trying to build up your own community, you know. We have to consider this. And for us, and like I said, wealth does not just come from, you know, riches. It comes from community. It comes from giving and getting back. Giving and giving back. And you have to first work with your own. You know, what's the point of doing sit-ins, restaurant sit-ins and protests when you have your own restaurant to go to, when you can have your own people to support? So I'm going to get back to you on that, and I really hope that this has opened your eyes a little more to what I'm talking about. And it's not about being against interracial relations. Being pro-black does not mean that you are anti-white. So please get an understanding. If not, oh well, you know, there are those, for those who hear me though, you know. So I'll get back to you.